What are the aspects of China's economic resilience reflected in? Stimulated by a series of positive news, the A-share market experienced a long-awaited surge today, with the Shanghai Composite Index rising 3.03% and closing at the 2,900-point integer level. China Petroleum, with a total market value close to 1.5 trillion yuan, has raised the limit up. In addition, the China Textile Index on the Beijing Stock Exchange has continuously raised the limit by 30%, while China Railway Assembly and CITIC Publishing have both raised the limit by 20%. China Science and Technology Information, China Machinery Certification and Inspection, China Post Technology, China COSCO Shipping, China Communications, etc. have risen by more than 10%. China Unicom, China Aviation Industry and Finance, China Aluminum International, China Public High Tech, COFCO Capital, China Science and Technology Communication, China Power and other more than 20 stocks have raised the limit. As of the close, over 4,800 stocks in both markets rose, with northbound funds net buying of 6.293 billion yuan. Economic resilience refers to the ability of a country's economy to withstand shocks and recover quickly from them. It not only focuses on a country's ability to achieve economic growth, but also on its ability to withstand shocks and recover quickly from them. A country with strong resilience can effectively suppress the fluctuations of the economic cycle, adapt to the structural transformation of the development situation, and thus achieve sustained and stable economic growth. At present, changes in the world, times, and history are unfolding in an unprecedented way. The unique resilience of China's economy is not only a strong guarantee for Chinese path to modernization, but also plays an important role in promoting global economic recovery and stability. After the Industrial Revolution, developed countries continuously improved their economic resilience through technological progress, while also widening the wealth gap between countries. Since the reform and opening up, the Chinese economy has achieved long-term, sustained and stable growth, continuously narrowing the gap with leading countries and demonstrating better economic resilience compared to other countries during the same period. The reasons for this can be revealed from multiple dimensions such as theory, history, and reality. Theoretical dimension, Marxist development perspective. Marx believed that different historical periods in which human socio-economic forms have developed have had different modes of production, and the iterative process between times is not smooth sailing. Without means of modernization or institutional impetus through change, it will be difficult to cross the capitalist Kaftan Canyon solely based on its own strength. This is also the reason why Marx emphasized that extremely similar things, but appearing in different historical environments, result in completely different outcomes. Therefore, in addition to institutional changes, capital accumulation, technological preparation, expansion of market demand, and conceptual changes, it is more important for developing countries to have resilience in the development process, otherwise they are prone to stagnation or even regression under various shocks. The economic resilience of a country often depends on the comprehensive development of its own people, as well as the improvement of the capabilities of economic entities such as governments, enterprises, and individuals. This is also the accumulation of adaptability that economic historian Geshenkran repeatedly emphasizes when analyzing the catching-up process of developing countries. Historical dimension, China's long-term economic growth experience. China has completed the development process that developed countries have gone through for hundreds of years in just a few decades, and the hardships and twists and turns involved can be imagined. Since the establishment of the People's Republic of China, especially since the reform and opening up, China has experienced various shocks, including not only the institutional transformation from a planned economy to a socialist market economy, but also various economic shocks such as the international financial crisis, as well as various natural disasters, accident disasters, and public health events. The reason why China has been able to successfully respond is that it is adept at constantly summarizing successful experiences, learning from failures, and continuously consolidating the social foundation for long-term economic growth in the process of economic development. This is also the key for developing countries to achieve catching up with leading countries, which has been repeatedly emphasized from Abramovitz to Roderick. According to Abramovitz's social ability theory or Roderick's basic ability theory, China has accumulated a solid social foundation to catch up with and surpass leading countries, including a political system and institutional capacity with Chinese characteristics, good social cohesion, and continuous technological innovation ability. Its core is a continuously accumulated and improved local knowledge system, which has achieved the absorption, transformation, and utilization of advanced technology, transforming external technology into the internal driving force of China's economic growth. Realistic dimension, summary of the success or failure of economic development in various countries. The economic development history of various countries since World War II has pointed out the fact that those countries that have achieved modernization have the ability to withstand shocks and quickly recover from them. That is, economic resilience is a prominent feature of modernization. After World War II, many countries successfully crossed the threshold of middle-income countries, but after decades of development, only a few countries such as Japan and South Korea achieved modernization and entered the ranks of developed countries. Countries that fall into the middle-income trap often fail to effectively withstand shocks, leading to weak economic growth in the future. From the economic history since the Industrial Revolution, the economic development process of developed countries has not been smooth sailing. Even Britain, which was the first to launch the Industrial Revolution, has an extremely high risk of reversal. Therefore, for China, only by looking back at the path we have walked, comparing the paths of others, and looking ahead from afar, can we understand where we came from and where we are going, and many problems can be seen deeply and accurately. It is under the strong leadership of the CPC that China, based on the summary of the success and failure of the economic development of various countries, has focused on preventing and resolving various risks in the process of development, and made efforts to coordinate economic development and economic security, so that China has become the world's second largest economy from a backward country, and created a remarkable Chinese miracle. This important statement clarifies the core idea of China's economic resilience and contains profound and rich academic connotations. What needs to be emphasized is that, as the most essential feature of socialism with Chinese characteristics, the CPC itself has strong resilience, can adapt to the rapidly changing domestic and international situations in a timely manner, self-rectify internal energy to overcome various shortcomings, and at the same time, it pays attention to fully mobilize the enthusiasm and creativity of various market subjects, always taking the realization of high-quality economic and social development as its own responsibility. The great potential determines the resilience of the Chinese economy. Economic growth potential refers to the maximum possible output that a country can achieve when all resources are fully utilized. Whether it is a horizontal regional comparison or a vertical cross-border comparison, the Chinese economy has shown tremendous potential. Horizontally, China's economic development faces issues of uneven income, regional development, and urban-rural development, especially in the eastern, central, and western regions where there is a gradient pattern of development, indicating that there is still significant room for growth in the Chinese economy. From a vertical perspective, there is still significant room for improvement in both factor quality and total factor productivity in China compared to developed countries such as the United States. Therefore, effectively addressing the current issue of inadequacy and imbalance in China undoubtedly helps to further unleash economic growth potential and enhance development momentum. Especially the long-standing Chinese history and profound traditional Chinese culture have shaped the spiritual strength of the Chinese nation's confidence and self-improvement, providing strong national cohesion and a long-term stable social environment, which is a development advantage that other developing countries do not possess. The vitality determines the resilience of the Chinese economy. A more dynamic economy has stronger resilience in the face of shocks, and the economic vitality of a country cannot be separated from the important market subject of entrepreneurs. The core of entrepreneurial spirit is creative destruction. Enterprises rich in entrepreneurial spirit often take the lead in using new technologies and have a demonstrative and driving effect on other enterprises, promoting sustained economic growth through the diffusion of new technologies and knowledge, spillover of competition, and diversification. From a practical perspective, the number of high-tech enterprises representing the forefront of innovation is constantly increasing, and innovation investment is better transformed into higher quality innovation output. The large room for maneuver determines the major advantage of China's economy. China's advantage as a major country is rooted in the significant advantages of the socialist system with Chinese characteristics. It not only concentrates its efforts to accomplish great things and effectively leverages its latecomer advantages to catch up with leading countries, but also effectively mobilizes resources and adopts various policy tools to resolve crises in the face of various shocks, thus consolidating China's economic resilience from a systemic perspective. China's major country advantages include a huge economic total, a super-large domestic market, and deep participation in economic globalization. The integration of the three provides sufficient room for China to cope with various shocks and achieve stable economic growth. Firstly, China's total economic output is huge, providing room for maneuver in terms of total output. Since 2011, China's total economic output has steadily ranked second in the world, and its contribution to global economic growth has also been continuously increasing. Secondly, China has a super large domestic market, providing room for maneuver in terms of scale. Unlike other developing countries, China has a complete industrial system, strong industrial supporting capabilities, and differences in regional resource endowments and development, which are conducive to the transfer and diffusion of technology between regions and the optimization of resource allocation. It can promote regional coordinated development while mitigating and resolving various negative impacts. Finally, China actively embraces the wave of economic globalization, insists on and deepens opening up to the outside world, and provides space for maneuver. In addition to its economic integration into the global economy, China has also actively participated in global development, implemented the UN 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development with actions, and provided China's solutions for global development through the concept of a community with a shared future for mankind, the Global Development Initiative, and the construction of the Belt and Road, contributing to more resilient global development.